Alright, so today is Monday, 6/29. Let's give ourselves a little recap of the day. Today was surprisingly easy, but unfruitful in terms of actual profits taken. So what we're going to do is we're going to remember to put the Fib 3 back on, but because that's going to be our evening dealing range. And we'll do a little recap going back to 9:30 open. So here, okay. All right, let's see what we got here. Into 9:30. All right. So we went up a lot. We had a bunch of bullish order blocks. We had this 1 hour bearish order block that had been tested all night long and on Friday as well. So I knew that at some point it was going to give, but I didn't want to see it give just yet, even though we were already in it. Did want to see it drop significantly. I know that we hadn't yet reached the mean threshold, so I wanted to see it reverse somewhere around here on the mean threshold of this order block. Because we had not yet reached this. We had not tested the mean threshold yet since its creation. So that's where it was my primary rejection point was here, 773. But first I wanted to see it drop. So I said, either we pop and drop or we drop and then pop to that before we drop further. So what did we do? The first thing we did was we dropped. Now this was a perfect opportunity for one of those take it in weights. We wicked through all but Sydney, rejecting 50%, rejecting 37.5, rejecting the 25, rejecting everything realistically except for a gap opening, just printing inside of the 12.5% and just past NYPM. I think the next candle started coming down, and I said, because it's not coming down lower, it's turning around. I said, the long looks good. Wanted to see that. Because the new direction was going in this direction towards this order block. But it showed me that it had already grabbed enough liquidity by going down this way. And stopping roughly here at about the Tokyo. Consequent encroachment. So, next candle, like I said, couldn't come down. Couldn't even make it down to Tokyo. Then I said, likely going up. I got in, but I trailed my stop way too closely, and I got taken out for like $60 on this candle alone. Honestly, I could have squeezed this into maybe 70 points because I was looking to get out here. I did think this was going to get me out. I should have waited a little bit and then trailed somewhere around here because the next candle just really took off. Let's go back a little bit. I want to see that again. So these were some bearish breakaway caps that were here, that were recently created. I want to see these get respected actually. And then I want to see the price fall a bit more, but that wasn't in the cards today. I did think that because based on the way this was behaving, this would have been the turnaround right here. 786, almost 786 tap. Yeah, I did expect that. I was definitely thinking that this was gonna reject this and drop. But next candle went straight up. This would have actually been a decent entry once it started going back up. But I couldn't have taken that. And like I said, at this point, I wanted to see this. Honestly, could have gotten taken out here too. This would have been a decent trade. In from rejection of euro, 100 points already. I wanted to see this come up to the consequent encroachment, but to the mean threshold of this 1 hour order block, 1 hour bearish order block. But I said, you know what? Let's see it come down first. And then it kept going. So there were many opportunities for me to get taken out in this trade. Honestly, I would have chilled this candle by candle. Still didn't quite get to the mean threshold, which would have been here, I believe. I think this was the mean threshold here at 785, because that was a massive bearish order block. Where is this order block? This whole thing is the bearish order block, isn't it? Yes, it is. Oh, it stops here. Right. Which would put the mean threshold here at 786, exactly like I said. So that's what I wanted to see. So there's still a little bit of ways to get up there. And it still had some room to go. But this is a sign that it's turning around, despite the strong bullish candle. Another sign that's turning around. I would look to exit as soon as possible, because honestly I wanted to get in for the drop. And if you fib this from here to there, honestly, yeah. Yep, and there you go. That's your turnaround. Not making a higher high, rejecting this heavy breakaway, this heavy bearish breakaway. Here's your entry. In by here, honestly, on the get down. And this one went rejection of, see, print past, rejection. This could have at least been taken to the, I did think, honestly, that this was going to go to the first percentage fair value gap and then turn around. So that's probably why I didn't take it. But it would have been a decent scalp if you trail it. And then this comes down to the 0.5 rejection. Double rejection. This is definitely a good trade to go up. Maybe trail it. Put your stop, break even immediately. Take it, and then let's see if it runs. Especially considering you've got this 82 rated bullish order block. This would have been a really good trade to get in from the rejection of the mean threshold of the bullish order block. Today was actually surprisingly easy. Especially considering you're already in, basically this is right outside of the bearish order block. It's definite interest in going. Like I said, my goal was the mean threshold of this order block. Today was surprisingly easy. I got cold feet because of inexperience, but we're working on that. Especially considering the order blocks were perfectly defined. Maybe not perfectly defined, but perfectly, they operated perfectly. especially in terms of the mean threshold and such. So, yeah, this was really good. They could be calibrated a little bit better, but this was really, really good. Great price action. Boom. There you go. This makes a higher high. Don't quite get to the mean threshold yet. Turn around possible, but it doesn't. And there we go. We get to the mean threshold, and then we took this bearish rejection of the consequent encroachment of this bearish breakaway gap. This was a perfect opportunity for a trade entry because it's past the mean threshold. It's deep into a large order block. Had not been tested this deeply. This risk to reward, if you're not, this risk to reward is really good, especially if you get confirmation. See, I would need to put my stop maybe. Yeah, that's still a good risk to reward. Yep. Boom. There you go. There you go. And you create a bearish order block along the way. Yeah, this would have been a really good trade. Rejection right here. And during the macro too. If anything, you get in right here. This is your entry. If you don't feel comfortable getting in here, then you have to get in here, especially during the macro. Man, how did I miss this? This trade ran 781. Man, this was it. And this was during the 950 macro too, so you have the reversal in play. Take that down to Tokyo. Maybe even a print past Tokyo. I think I was in this trade actually, but I think I might have trailed it too closely. I don't recall. Oh, I remember. I took it to the order block because I didn't trust it to break these order blocks, to invalidate them rather, I didn't trust it because they were rated so highly, even though they were 1 and 2 minutes and they were coming out of. Yeah, I should have trusted this. The wick. Man, I messed this up because this kept going. Yeah, that got taken out somewhere around here with that turnaround. And I just realized my fib isn't even going. Put my fib back on. Fib froze somewhere back there. There we go, that's more like it. Actually, rewind that just a little bit just so I can see that action. Okay. Let's see. Boom. Boom. Hold on, let's go back a little bit. See that. Where'd you retrace to? Because this is still rather bearish. Rejection, the 0.5 on the short term. It's still a very bearish signature. A rejection of the 0.5 on the short term and 0.5 on the ladder while not printing past it. Barely, maybe a little, let's call that a mohawk. It does look like it's turning around, to be fair. But I'd look for some sort of confirmation, which I'd get right there. Not making a higher high, turning around, and boom. Now that would have scared me too, especially, but I think I would have thought this would need to come back up here to get more energy at Tokyo before going back down. But instead it just invalidates and goes right through Sydney. And honestly, here should be your bottom because you have this bullish breakaway gap. And you have a low down there. This should be your bottom. The vacuum turned on, sucked up your price action through all your first presented fair value gaps from prior sessions, and you're looking to turn around, and guess what? You do exactly that. And the vacuum sucks it right back up again. NYPM, can we make it to NYAM? So then you dance around here, looking for a 1050 macro. But first you come down a bit. Now the question is, can you hold this? And if you do hold it, to where do you hold it? My guess is to this 0.5, maybe this 0.618. You do have a bullish breakaway gap here. I'm expecting to see it here. 382 alone would be a very bullish signature. What do we have? Instead, rejects the 382. Just keeps going up. This is absolutely beautiful price action today. This rejects the consequent encroachment of this macro open. It just took off straight into your bullish order block, into your bearish order block, excuse me. Rejects NYAM. Does it come back down? It does not. This was a very bullish signature, printing right past it, only leaving a body inside the NYAM. Comes back, rejects the consequent encroachment, and you want to see that continue to go to the upside. Well, it doesn't. Until it does. Until it doesn't. And then it comes back down. But not far. If your stop was if your stop was in structure, well, your stop was low, then you would have been okay with it. But in the meantime, this would have been fine. Create a bullish order block along the way, and consequent encroachment tap, and then you should consequent encroachment tap, rejection, and there you go. That should go up. Question is how much, and there you go. There's your up. This alone, how much could you get out of this? Get 100 points out of this. Man, today's price action was beautiful. Need to get more confident with trading this. Absolutely beautiful price action. And then we have another macro, 1150, and then you're done for the day. Macro open. See this come up, you're already past the mean threshold, so you're looking for invalidation from this area only. Because you're back in it again. Don't get much out of this macro. But the question is, there you go. And there you go. That bearish order block has been invalidated. You could have squeezed 60 points out of this, roughly. Maybe even 80 if you're assiduous. But you should basically be done for the day. And the price action is basically done anyway. But this is the lunchtime, so let's take a look at it. I think there was a fair value gap you could have taken as a decent trade for a reasonable upside. Maybe this one. We might have already passed it already. I think it's this one actually, this breakaway gap, which should not have been retested if I remember correctly. And you should make a higher high here. Boom. Reverse that breakaway gap, and then maybe that's it for you for the day. Higher high. But yeah, like I said, either way you're done for the day. Someday we'll learn how to trade this 130, but I don't think much happened at this point today. And it was kind of just choppy for the rest of the day. And that's your recap.